Hey, what's up, you guys? Listen, bringing you new information on what's going on with Drake, what's going on with him getting exposed, and what's going on, how Academics is helping protect him. Y'all, let's get into this, because let me just say this, all fun and games, and you know I love the mess as much as anyone else, but they have made, right? They have made very serious allegations this time. And baby, I gotta say this, I get it, drip, drop. They have alleged that Drake likes bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yays, right? They are atomic dogs. Ooh, they're saying that Drake be doing the thing with literally a lot is going on with his dogs. But they're also alleging, and this is one of the most disturbing things, they're also alleging, are you guys sitting down for this? That Drake uses the Mark Hotel for freak-offs with youngins. That's right. Now listen, the dog stuff already, I was like, you need to call PETA. What are you doing on Twitter? Right? And I'm sure they have the reasons. But if what they are alleging in this is true, and this is Ebony Prince, again, I do not believe Ebony Prince anymore is one person. I believe this Twitter account is being ran by the House of Ebony. Google them. They are deep in New York. Okay. It seems like they're alleging that Drake was holding freak-offs with members of the LGBTQ community. Drake was doing also very niche, weird stuff. Christopher Alvarez liked some tweets alleging that Drake took advantage of him or did something really disturbing and weird to him. They're also alleging things with roofs, right? And all that stuff. But now we are getting into this, baby. Somebody needs to report this to the Popo. Okay, let's pick up because she says, right? This is where it all came down. She said, my eyes are not trained to determine age. Now imagine one of the people, or at least three people from the House of Ebony, it looks like were security for the Mark. The Mark was in Jeffrey Epstein's little black book, okay? There were a lot of stories that Epstein and a lot of other high-end clientele used New York hotels. We're not saying it is actually the Mark Hotel. Use New York hotels to actually do what? Use New York hotels to hold freak-offs. They would rent out the whole floor, do whatever. Chris Alvarez said something happened to him on the night of January 22nd, 2024. That is actually what they are referring to. Anyway, they said, my eyes are not trained to determine age. They are trained to decipher adult from adolescent. Young Theodore made changes to how we monitored youngins. That was on July 27, 2023. So young Theodore must work at the Mark Hotel security. And they're saying that after that happened, they couldn't tell whether somebody was underage or not. They only know adult from adolescents. Now they monitor youngins differently. Apparently something happened on January 22nd. Christopher Alvarez alleges Drake did something to him. Another stuff was happening. They're saying it is disgusting. They're saying there is a tape about it. They're saying Kendrick may have seen that tape. Most likely he did, because what is in 616, especially when he said, dear Sandra, your son's a very, very sick man. Okay. Let's also not forget that the police were actually called. And because of that, two people lost their jobs. So they said, I wonder what it will be. When I heard that, I said, okay, oh my God, are they finally bringing it home about Drake and underage FOs? Okay. They then went on to post. So Maggie on Twitter had an interesting thing. She posted something, said Drake blows off steam after New York City concert parties with Travis Scott and French Montana. She said, Drake is staying at the Mark. Do you think he's having a caviar baked potato at Caspia? Woof, woof, Drakey Drake poo. Right? Now, somebody said caviar parties are poo-poo parties, but I don't know. I've never been to one. Listen, Tattle Tells, let me know. They said, not the Mark. He spent $70K per night for the penthouse there when he was at the Apollo in January. Shot, they gave a blank what he does, but go off. They said Drake was hosting a private party at the hotel in New York during this date, which is only a 20-minute drive from the location. They said this is a party, also Caspia. They said he closed down the place, private party. It was this past Sunday. I know because I was there, and the night before was next room to the electric room. Alice Caviar Caspio, CEO Raymond McCronon isn't blabbing. What happens at Caviar Caspia stays at Caviar Caspia. Discretion is the number one asset. We never say no, or at least we always try to find a way to please. There are many, many stories, he continues teasingly. If these walls could talk, they would have endless amounts of stories. Thank God they can't. Okay. Then they also said they researched some more. They said Caspia has captured the romance and glamour of caviar while combining it with the highest level of demand and quality to offer moments of exception, the unique universe that can be found in the restaurant and its private rooms. Again, Maggie said, Drake, staying at the mark, do you think he's having that baked potato? Okay. So Ebony Prince 2024 said, I was in disbelief at this claim of theft, considering how the items came to remain in that building. I kept thinking back to July 27, 2023. So I guess whatever tape they have happened July 7th, 2023. July 27, 2023. But I digress. After meeting in the office, I later contacted Miss Edwards. She must be the head of security. All files regarding any items in my possession were transferred over to her, so that if I was ever detained for possession of stolen property, my attorney has proof of the chain of custody. Okay, so they say I started asking you, and they're saying that if Academics or Drake tries to sue them, maybe they have proof that they took nothing and it went through the correct chain of custody. Okay? They said anywhere I've worked, I can attest to the fact that I do my job to the letter of the law. Once there. That's what makes me amongst the most in demand in the city. How many times have I allowed you to indirectly affect my livelihood? What this means is that I'm obligated under New York State law to report any questionable activity regarding humans this law covers. Good. They sit down to this mandated reported training. Again, so basically they're alleging, and this is me piecing it together. And listen, turn your notifications on. I'm getting this to you as quick as I can, right? Basically, they're alleging that Drake got them fired because something happened with underage people and something happened with Christopher Alvarez, and they called the authorities because somebody had reported an assault. Drake seems to have gotten mad, if I'm piecing this together correctly, right? Things may change. Drake got them two people fired and basically cost them his livelihood, and now they want everything. Okay? They said this is America after all. Cash will always be king in spite of what asshole it comes from. Woo. Now while you have that lens on your eye, do you see the foolery? The regulars there could buy you 100 times over, yet your staff will try and move them out the way. Do you see the insanity? They said, I've started this asking you and your little friend to humble yourselves. You realize that no one has stopped me, right? That's because everyone is in agreements. They like money, not you. And that goes for everyone and everything around you. Cash is king. So he's even saying that Drake's money, his clout, his privilege, or whatever is not going to stop anything from coming out. Y'all, listen. This mess is getting serious. Turn your notifications on. I got a few other things to tell y'all. Talk to you about it soon. They said to that point. Ooh, are you a billionaire yet? I wouldn't know. Simply trashing everything was not feasible. Some of the items were extremely expensive. This is, after all, the billionaire's playground. Therefore, when asked by the director of my department to clear all the old stuff out of the office for reasons I want disclosed, I obeyed. But that required an additional step. It was placed with the other high vault lost and found in safe under a camera for 3 months. Ooh, oh my God. Yeah. They said, but you are you, so it was not trash, not your stuff. Nobody wanted to hear no BS. So much emphasis is on the little bag and whether or not it shipped, that the big bag was picked threw and tossed to the side with these instructions. We only need that. The rest is trash. We all occasionally slip, though. I've thought this story while fending off hacking attempts, threats against me and my house members, and more. However, you and your team slipped flat-faced after you departed that time. Woo! Y'all. They said that, listen, they said by now we should have come to a conclusion that they're quite meticulous in the methods. I was in disbelief at this claim of theft, considering how the items came to remain in that building. I kept thinking back to July 27, 2023. You guys, listen. The account doesn't seem to be operated by just one person because the tone of what they're saying keeps changing. The person tweeting now is clearly a different person just by their speech patterns and what they're ranting about. Okay. But yeah, I think the whole House of Ebony is running this. I do believe that if they have information about Drake doing things to Bow Wow Wow, Yippee Yo, Yippee Ace, and underage, I think that they should report it immediately. But then again, these tweets are hinting they've already made a report. And if they have, we need to ask, who's protecting Drake? Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.